Well, hi there. We're going to build one of these today. It is a Diatone DT1, well, DTIs are one more time. Welcome to the Red Rack of Doom. Oh, that doesn't sound quite right. My workbench. Yeah, I'm not fond of screwing up my desk, so shop rags are the case. Today we're going to build a airframe for one of those. It is a Diatone Blade 150. This particular one is fiberglass, but the one we're about to build is carbon fiber. It's my interesting little build right here. I was told that putting a PDB on the bottom would give us issues. My ET-150 has survived plenty of flights. This one, with the PDB on the bottom. Very happy little quadcopter. So, let's cut the chatter and let's get to building. Alright, here we go. We got the 4 arms. We've got a ton of screws. One of the nice things that Diatone does is they give you way more fasteners than you actually need. We'll get to those later. Those are the standoffs. Those will be important very shortly here. Now we're just building the airframe here. We're not actually throwing electronics on it. That takes a lot more time. More little screws. Alright, here we go. This is the bottom plate. Bottom plate is all carbon fiber. It is conductive. It's not terribly stiff, but you know, it's all cut out. It's very lightweight. It's about twice the thickness of the arms as well. Not a bad deal. And the Diatones, the little ones, come with their PDBs. There's a 5-volt regulator, so you can get ESCs that are quote-unquote opto, although I'm yet to see one that actually has an optocoupler on it. Alright, let's start building. Alright, there we go. I'm going to be using a triple-aught Phillips screwdriver for this. Fits those quite tightly. And where are the nuts? There we go. Alright. Roughly half the fasteners go into standoffs. Hold on a second here. The arms are built with several holes in them. This one fits into the slot in the bottom. You see 2 holes out here. That lets you change the wingspan from like 150 to 160 millimeter, or rotor span, whichever you want to call it. I go with the inner setting because that makes for a stronger quadcopter. And I really didn't find a huge difference in the size of prop I was able to use. So that's what we're going with. Alright, get a screw through bottom of the frame and into the arm. I put the arms on the inside to give me more clearance for the electronics, because that is a big problem on these 150 class quads. I suppose the argument could be made to have that point go that way for motor defense, but I think it looks better pointed forward and fore and aft. And it's okay to do some things for looks. I'm just holding the screw steady with my fingertip while I'm screwing the standoff on top. We need some nuts. Not the nut behind the camera, but you know, for attaching the other screws here. Whoops, wrong hole. Alright. Going through the slot in the bottom. Push through. There we go. We will come back and tighten that with a pair of pliers and the screwdriver in just a moment here. Now the last one of these I built was with the 6 amp Emax ESCs. That worked out pretty well. My ET150 I built with the 10 amp integrated ESC, the 4 ESCs together in one that Hobby King sells. I thought that would make the build easier, and I'm not sure it did. It made the arms look prettier, but it did not make wiring the electronics any less difficult. I'm not sure I'd go that way again, especially given that it means if any one ESC goes, I have to replace the whole board or start doing board level ESC repair. Wouldn't be the first time. I don't want to do it again. I think it ended up saving me $4 in the end, though. I think it saved some weight. Which I suppose is worth it at this scale. Whoops. That gets a standoff. So this frame only has 4 standoffs between the top deck and the bottom deck. And as you can see, Diatone provides you with an extra. I find that really quite impressive. Alright, screw through the hole. Drop the nut. That is not going on there the way I would like. There we go. Okay. So now, while we have good access to these, we'll give them a little bit of a pinch and tighten them with a screwdriver. You're probably using a double aught instead of a triple aught Phillips. But, you know, it's not an actual airplane, it's just a model airplane or quadcopter, aircraft. English, so many words for the same things, or for similar things. There we go. Tighten that up. Okay. I wonder if I've got my scale on the desk so we can weigh this thing in the end. Now I can attach the top deck. You know what? Let's take care of that PDB too. It really is a nice thing that they give this to you in the models. I appreciate it very much. Come on. There we go. Pleasantly they supply all the little nylon standoffs. Diatone's instructions tell you to bolt this straight down to the airframe itself, and I don't agree with that. On my ET150, I've got the PDB on the bottom, and also on my other Blade 150, I've got it on the bottom. Blade tells you to install the board right there. I don't like it. Not one bit. So I'll show you how I mount this. At least temporarily, we'll be going with the supplied nuts up here. Later on, I'll come with other standoffs and screw them on top when I have the flight controller ready for this. I'm considering doing something a little bit crazy with this build and going with APM or something, and a GPS, and going the whole 9 yards. Have a tiny little thing I can send out for trips around the lawn. Another thing to note is that it's not screwing on there very well. Nice. The bright side, whatever I lost, there are spares of, so I'm not terribly worried. I do generally only go finger tight on these. Nylon is mostly self-locking as threads go. There we go. Alright, let's do number 4. Alright. Plus, 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 minus, minus, minus. Put that on there like that. And screw in the supplied nylon nuts, bolts. Sure. The directions for Diatone that come from Diatone say you're supposed to bolt that with some spacers underneath each nut, or some of these fiber washers underneath each nut to electrically isolate it from the airframe. But since we already have nylon here, we are in good shape. that work? Will double out work in there? It will not. Those are hex, and I don't have those. Alright. Let's get that top frame on there. Now when you're putting a whole bunch of screws into hold down plates like this, it is best to get all of the screws started, and then you can start tightening them down. There's some slop in the screw holes, and sometimes you can make it so they won't line up. That's easy to tell, but the bigger problem you might run into is you might preload some torque onto the chassis in some way or another, which will make your frame out of square. And while it probably won't affect a quadcopter, it can make airplanes not work. So it's a good habit to get in. And there we go. Diatone Blade 150 frame assembled and ready for electronics. While we're here though, I do have a scale. And we can find out what this thing weighs. Hello, scale. Alright, we're in grams. 26.2 grams. And because we know we'll need it for sure later on, that's an A's 32. What takes us up to, oh, look, pi grams. And while we're at it, the pack I usually fly with takes us up to 85. Not bad at all. Oh, and while we're there, how about a receiver? 88. Alright, we can work with that. If you have any questions, post them in the comments section. I tend to read those because I don't have a whole lot of videos. If you like it, I'd say subscribe, but I don't do many videos. It's probably not worth your time. And thank you for watching.